Hey, let's be real. I bet if some of you asked your parents who this character right here is, I would not be surprised for a second if they said that Tails was like Pikachu or something like that. Go ahead, go try and ask him and see what they say.
Are you Detective Pikachu?
He does look like a Pokemon. Pika Pika.
The Sonic Movie 3 trailer came out today, and it definitely exceeded every single expectation that I had going into it. While I was extremely excited for this trailer to come out, at the same time, in the back of my head, I was thinking, man, I really hope that they don't spoil too much today. I hope that they don't just show every single scene that's going to happen in the movie. We're just going to know every single thing that happens, and there's no major surprises. In hindsight, the trailer of Sonic Movie 2 actually showed the final boss, so it's like, I can't really think of many scenes from Sonic Movie 2 that weren't already shown in the trailer, and maybe that's still the case, but in my opinion, today's Sonic Movie 3 trailer did a really good job of sparking a lot of curiosity for the fans. There's still a lot of pieces of this puzzle that we have not been able to put together yet. But on the outset, this trailer did everything right. We got a good look at the dynamic between the team of Robotnik, his grandfather, and Shadow, and we also got a good dynamic of Team Sonic as well. It's going to be a true 3v3, but will they be evenly matched? Who knows? But this trailer did everything right. We got the Chow Garden Easter egg. We got even more shots of Space Colony Arc. In addition to that, we also got shots of Eggman in his actual game suit. We also can't forget the fact that we also got the Eclipse cannon from Sonic Adventure 2. We also got a really cool shot of Shadow and Maria, so we're gonna get to see a little bit of his past, which is cool. We're gonna see why he's a tragic character, but also it references something from Shadow Generation's Dark Beginnings. We also can't forget that Shadow has his motorcycle, and they even gave him the gun. I didn't think they were gonna go that deep. Oh, and we have to talk about this reference that they did also. Here it is. Here it is. Oh! So, it's safe to say that they absolutely cooked with this trailer, and I feel like we're in for something a little bit grittier than the Sonic movies from the past. The greatest thing that they were able to do with this trailer is show a lot of cool action scenes, build up a lot of hype for the trailer, provide us some context without revealing too much. It feels like there truly is going to be an incredible climax for this film, and at the same time, we don't really know how we're going to arrive to this climax, because going into the film, a lot of people were expecting Sonic Adventure 2, the movie, right? And then we saw the first trailer and we realized that, you know, it was going to be a little bit different than Sonic Adventure 2. But we kind of had this feeling in the back of our head because it's loosely inspired by it. The climax would be something like this. So based off of a hidden detail that we noticed in the trailer, it doesn't seem like the climax is necessarily going to be that exactly how it's done. We'll probably arrive to a similar version of that climax, but the way it's going to happen is going to be extremely different. First of all, it seems like there's no indication that there's going to be a bio-lizard or anything like that. The real burning question that's on everybody's mind is, who is the big bad in this movie? My initial prediction into this trailer, and this probably still could be the case, was actually this. It makes a lot of sense that after Eggman and Gerald Robotnik team up together, eventually Gerald would end up turning on Eggman, just trying to destroy the planet. Basically, it seems like Eggman wants to rule humanity and Gerald wants to destroy humanity and get revenge on them for taking out Maria. I definitely still think that Gerald is going to be the final boss of the movie, but I feel like some new dialogue and also, like I said, this hidden detail in the trailer kind of throws a wrench in all this as to how we're going to get there and arrive to this conclusion. The first detail. This is a lot more minor, and this isn't actually the main hidden detail I'm talking about, but listen closely to Shadow during this exchange.
With Shadow's power, we can rule humanity.
When we're done, there won't be anything left to rule. That is dark.
Listening to the way that the dialogue is set up in that scene, first it starts with Eggman saying, "Let's rule humanity." Then it starts with Gerald, you know, it's silent, they don't even say what he says. And then it skips over to Shadow saying, "When we're done, there's going to be nothing left to rule over." So I feel like this is going to be the start of where that conflict takes place. Potentially, it could be Gerald and Shadow turning against Eggman. Maybe Shadow could end up being the big bad in this movie. And if there is going to be a team up between the two hedgehogs, it might not even come until after they potentially turn super. Let me explain. My favorite part of the Sonic Movie 3 trailer was definitely the end. We get to see really what the stakes are. Everything looks a lot darker. It looks a lot more dire, especially when we get towards that end scene with the lava. It feels like it's like Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Star Wars 3. One thing I love about the Sonic Movie 3 trailer, the first one and the second one, is that they've kept this mystery as to where the Chaos Emeralds are. We know that they're going to be a major important plot device. We haven't seen them yet, and people are wondering, like, if we're going to get that Sonic Adventure 2 ending, how is this going to come into play? Well, it looks like we finally got a look at them for the first time in the Movie 3 trailer, and it's in a very subtle way that most people probably missed on their first watch. If you look at the crazy scene in the lava world where it looks like it's a Doomsday type area, when you look into the shot with Sonic's eyes, you will look and see what looks like the 7 Chaos Emeralds colors. So it seems like during this scene, during the Doomsday Zone, during the 1v1 with Sonic versus Shadow, the Chaos Emeralds are present. It looks like they're probably battling over the emeralds. Based off of the scenes that we see after, you know, with the Eclipse Cannon, also with Agent Stone looking extremely dejected, looking up at the sky, plus the other civilians looking really scared, it seems like that scene is going to precede whatever the climax is. And I really wasn't expecting this, but dare I say, I think we are going to see a Super Sonic versus Super Shadow battle in Sonic Movie 3, and I think that's probably going to be the climax of the film. The question is, will they team up together, or is that just going to be the final battle? So in my opinion, that is the detail that changes everything. It's something that most people probably didn't notice, but now that we think about it, everything's been kind of flipped upside down. It might end up being the case that Shadow and Gerald are the two final bosses, and maybe Shadow never turns good. Who really knows? Going into the film, I think we all assume that Shadow would just simply turn good after having a conversation with whoever is going to replace Amy Rose on the arc, remind him of Maria's final wish, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the way that we arrive to the Super Sonic and Super Shadow, potentially both saving the world, like that climax is going to be a lot different than SA2, which is kind of cool. It's like a new take on what we knew from the past. I think we all assumed that the alliance between Sonic and Shadow would happen before they go super. Now it seems like if it does happen at all, it's going to happen while they're super mid-fight. So how exactly is the turn going to happen if it does happen? Regardless, I would love to know what happens during that scene and how we even get to that point. How are we in this lava barren wasteland with the Chaos Emeralds? How did they know that they were there? What exactly is happening with the Eclipse Cannon? It just seems like the climax of this film is going to be greater than anything that we've ever seen from the Sonic movie franchise, and they've truly stepped up their game. Will there be a Super Sonic versus Super Shadow fight? Will there be a team up? I'm sure both are a possibility. And who is truly going to be the final villain of Sonic Movie 3? My betting money is still definitely on Gerald, but maybe Shadow has thrown himself into the mix as well, for like the final true battle in the film. All I know is no matter what, I hope the film ends up like this with the ending of Sonic Adventure 2 and Super Sonic and Super Shadow do eventually team up, but Shadow also falls down to earth and falls to his death. Of course, they can bring him back, like, yeah, bring him back in the first post-credit scene and then do a second one with the new character reveal, but they have to make this the ending because I feel like it would just be so good. So this scene definitely changes everything, and now everything is up in the air. Also, we saw this new poster with Shadow and the 3 quills. Maybe he's using some of Sonic's power as well. But let me know what you guys think about all this crazy day. See you guys in the next one.